Are you ready for the greatest motorsport on Earth? Introducing Full Pull Live, your front row seat to all the action. With exclusive trackside commentary, line driver interviews, and heart-pounding footage of all the raw horsepower action. An all-new stream like no other, available anywhere and everywhere you are. We are so confident we're giving you a taste of the action for free. This May 31st, watch the first session of the GALOT Mule City 300 in Benson, North Carolina without paying a penny. Then, sign up for the $39.99 a month and buckle in for one heck of a season. Full Pull Live, the greatest motorsport on Earth, streams here.
Bert, that promo video is so good, I'm going to play it again. All right?
Are you ready for the greatest motorsport on Earth? Introducing Full Pull Live, your front row seat to all the action. With exclusive trackside commentary, line driver interviews, and heart-pounding footage of all the raw horsepower action. An all-new stream like no other, available anywhere and everywhere you are. We are so confident we're giving you a taste of the action for free. This May 31st, watch the first session of the GALOT Mule City 300 in Benson, North Carolina without paying a penny. Then, sign up for the $39.99 a month and buckle in for one heck of a season. Full Pull Live, the greatest motorsport on Earth, streams here.
Welcome, truck and tractor pulling fans, to the Weighing In Preview Show. Every Wednesday night before a Grand National pull, we will reveal the puller lineups for all you fans on Wednesday nights to get you all excited about it, talk about the upcoming event. And as we roll out the brand new fullpull.live, I want everybody to understand it's free Friday night. So go to fullpull.live right away, get logged in, get set up. You can watch NTPA Grand National pulling for free Friday night. And how cool is that? And it's going to be the Weighing In Preview Show every Wednesday night at 6:30 Central Standard Time before the there comes Phil Kelly. Phil Kelly's in the house. We're going to bring Phil on. But every Wednesday night at 6:30 Central Standard Time, we, the announcers of Full Pull Live that we have on that week, will come on and we're going to give you the lineups for everybody. So on Wednesday, and that's going to be a lot of fun as we head into the season. We really want to stress the free live stream this Friday night from Benson. It's always better to be there. We all know that. But not everybody can get to Benson, North Carolina this Friday. But we're excited to have you on here. And away we go. So my name is Jason Schultz. I'm going to be one of your live stream announcers this Friday and Saturday in Benson. Bert Forbes is also one of our live stream announcers. And Peake, Phil Kelly. Dan Mayer is supposed to be joining us tonight as well. Miles Krieger might be jumping on. Dan and Miles are going to be the in-house announcers for the crowd. And again, the three faces you see on the screen right now are going to be doing that. But please stick around. We are going to announce the polling order for every class Friday night and Saturday night. And I got a little hint for you right now. There's 101 hooks. And that's a great way to start.
Yeah, that's a heck of a show right there.
So Bert, if you don't mind, can you kind of introduce yourself, maybe where people have heard you in the past, and then we'll do the same with PK, and then we'll jump into the lineups. Because that's really what everyone cares about. So
hey folks, my name is Bert Forbes. If you come down south, I'm mostly announced here in the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee. I've been around pulling all my life. I grew up in a pull town called Pine Tops, North Carolina, if you've ever heard of that town. And so in fact, that's where I live at now. And I just love pulling. Hey, I was a driver for about 8 years and been around the sport literally all my life. So if it's about dirt, if it's about rolling some coal, if it's about making some noise, that's pulling. That's what I love to see.
I like it. Hey, well, first of all, where'd you get that hat? I haven't seen that hat in a couple of days.
This is my late uncle's hat he got in the early 2000s. In fact, the bill is actually made out of rubber. I mean, it's actually, I mean, it's cool. I'll bring it this weekend so you can see it. It's the only one I've ever seen like it, but from the early 2000s at some point. But yeah, it's old school.
Awesome. And everybody, let us know where you're watching from tonight. Again, we're gonna have the pullers lineup, pulling order for every class Friday night and Saturday night. We're gonna reveal that here in a little bit after our introductions. So please share this around with your friends and family. And this is something new. I don't know. I mean, Bert and Phil, I think in the past you kind of had to wait until like the day of the event, drivers meeting Friday afternoon to find out what the pulling order, right? Right, PK? We can't hear you, Phil. Phil, we can't hear you. Can't hear you, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's get you figured out. PK, we can't hear you, boss. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on. Take your headphones out. Nothing. I can see your fingers. Unplug those. Sound. Okay.
Found modern technology. It works when it.
All right,
when it's great, it works.
Once we hear PK, we'll get it figured out what's going on. But let us know where you're watching from tonight. Let us know if you're going to Benson, or let us know if you're gonna tune into the free live stream Friday night. I don't know, has there ever been a free live stream before?
Not that I know. That's kind of what I do is we'll get some family members together if it's like Bowling Green or a big pull like Enderley, and we all get around. We'll rent the program and everybody could get pizza or eat steaks or whatever and watch pulling.
Yep.
That's a little further from home, but this is a great one for me because it's an hour from my house, so I'm kind of excited about it. I don't have to go far to see the unlimited mod or the light mods and the pro stocks and the mini rods. I mean, I'm a mod mini guy. I'm excited about this. But I tell you one thing, the pullers, I think I already like it because they already know their running order.
Yep.
And with 101 vehicles, that'll make a big difference on how they're going to set up. So, and you watch, and we've talked about this before, when we go daylight to dark, that track's drying out when that sun's on it. But man, when it goes dark, that moisture starts coming up. 20 vehicles in a class, that can be a big change.
Yeah. So PK is going to try to get his stuff going in. Bruce Cockerman's watching from Hamburg, Arkansas. Donnie Woods is checking in from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Again, everybody, if you cannot be in Benson, North Carolina, you can watch the live stream for free at fullpull.live. And after we have our announcement tonight, you can also go and check out the lineups as well at fullpull.live, fullpull.us, and it'll be up on the App Store tomorrow on the Full Pull app as well. Dustin Freeburn's checking in from York, Pennsylvania. Jamie Qualls checking in from Middlebury, Indiana. I guarantee he's wearing a crew shirt right now. Phil, can you hear me?
Can you hear me yet?
Yay!
Hey, there we go.
PK is in the house.
I literally jumped off one conference call to jump on this one, and I'm like, how do the earbuds not work in this system? But I must say, I don't know StreamYard very well, so I didn't know the technical side, the settings side of can it hear me, test my audio, even though you get a little picture in a blue bar that says you're in the show. But in going to you would ask me a question about the lineups. The lineups always became a pain in the butt because you go sign up at the trailer by whatever it was, 3 or 4 o'clock. You walk away from the trailer and you didn't really know where you fell because everybody else hadn't signed up, and you had to send somebody back to the trailer to find out where you should start going to the scales. So it became a game of like, oh, well, the Ferrises went to the scales. I know there's Butlers are after them, but then Jason's after them. Okay, I'll go to the scales next. And then you see somebody go by you and you're like, wait, I thought I was the 4th hook tonight. So it being published sooner, even before you arrive on site, you don't have to send a guy or ask a buddy or a buddy's wife to go take a picture of that list hanging on the office and text it to you. Like,
no, that's honestly, you won't have to do that anymore. So
yeah, it's so much greater. Like I love how we're integrating newer technology. Well, stuff that's out there. We're just integrating technology everybody else has been using into the plan. Like, let's just say in NASCAR, they know when they're going out to the grid to qualify.
Exactly.
Like,
Again,
you know what
Bert,
late model racing, you know what heat you're in, you know what lineup you're in, you know your qualifying rounds, your hot laps. They're all on a board. They're all pre-listed nowadays.
Yep, I like it. Again, if you're just joining us, Bert, PK, and I are going to be your live stream announcers. Dan Mayer and Miles are going to be the in-house announcers as well. Dan was going to try to jump on tonight, Miles as well. Miles' daughter had a softball game, and Dan had some work stuff come up. But we're going to unveil the lineups tonight here in a few short minutes. I want to know, we're going to start with Friday night. And whoever comments the most, do you want to see the Pro Stocks first? Do you want to see the Mini Rods first? The Light Supers, the Light Mods? What are the other 2 classes? Open Supers and 4-wheel drive trucks. What do you want to see first, fans? Let us know in the comments. We're live right now on the NTPA Facebook page, full pull, GALOT Motorsports Park. And again, we're going to do this every Wednesday night at 6:30 Central, and we're going to unveil the lineups for you. And if you missed the show, don't worry. You just head over to fullpull.live, fullpull.us after our live, or you can simply head on over to the Full Pull app the day after. So Jesselyn Fagundes says light mods. So that's light supers or four-wheel drives. I'll let the votes kind of come in a little bit. But PK,
Jason, are you saying as a fan, I get to vote what I want to see first?
Yes, PK. That's how it works.
I'm going to go backwards here a little bit. As a Super Farm puller, I must say Super Farm tends to be the test hook, the track builder.
The first ones, every time, yep.
Right? They're a consistent class. They put down good weight. They turn the track over. You get good speeds off the sled to turn that dirt and work it in. So you tend to be the track builder as a Super Farm. So if Super Farm was there, you mean I could vote to go second?
No. I meant what do you want me to preview first tonight? Like, what do you want me to put on the screen first?
Okay.
We don't.
The preview for the lineup.
The NTPA. Yeah, we're not taking over the NTPA poll.
Okay. I thought you had just initiated a whole new fan vote system, and I was like, "Oh God, wait till I tell my friends."
So I'm seeing a lot of light mods, a lot of four-wheel drive and pro stocks. So I'm gonna Bert, you're our North Carolina guy. Why don't you pick? Which class do you want to see first on the screen?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to say. I'm going to definitely say mod four-wheel drives.
Okay, so here we go. Are you ready, Bert?
Yep.
Okay, bang. There are.
Yeah.
This is Friday night. There are 23 four-wheel drive trucks coming to Benson, North Carolina, Bert.
Holy camole.
DJ Sullivan with Simon Says will be hook number 1. Larry Peterson out of Baldwin, Wisconsin with Pro Fat Geared Up will be hook number 2. And we got Bunky Davis out of Tappacook, Virginia, seldom seen. Clayton Davis with the Punisher. Danny Johnson with Desperado. Ben Ellis Jr. with Benjamin. Rob Foster, Foster Child. Carmen's not driving. What's going on there? Mark Mangan, the Outlaw, last year's points champion. Bill Kramer, the Contender. Mike Zarian, Taylor Corsa, Taylor Made. Jordan Eddy with Just Rutten. Jimmy Moritz, Niche. John Davis with Young Gun. Mick Broughton, Shock Treatment. I saw that truck at Louisville. It's beautiful. Anna Mangan, Bounty Hunter. I got to get rid of my banner on the bottom so you can see all of them. Tim Holman with the fourth one. Ron Johnson with the Mistress. Jake Kramer, Supernatural. Kevin Schools with the Farmer's Daughter. Ford and Jake Zarian will be the last hook in the class with rule. What do you think of that, Bert?
I tell you, I see a lot of names that I'm used to seeing. I mean, like Ben Ellis on Benjamin, and Bill Kramer, and of course, the names Rob Foster. A lot of these guys I'll see once or twice a year. Peyton Davis, but I tell you, this class. One thing about the four-wheel drive class is they're 6,200 pounds, and it's a driver's class. You've got to know how to come out of the hole with these things. You can't put the power down too early, but you definitely can't wait too late. So this is going to be an experience thing, and whoever can read the track the best. So that's kind of my thing. What's your pick right now, Jason? What do you think your pick is, Jason and PK?
I'm going to go first, and I like to pick fan favorites, but I'm also a champion of underdogs. Like,
yeah.
I love a guy. I love to see a guy who puts the time and effort in and wins. Like, you get it. But I am a big fan of underdogs, so I can't quite pick who I want yet. But I agree with you. The Benson track and conditions because I'm going to call Benson a newer event, right? Like within the past 10 years, that nobody has that data. The data of how that track is taking moisture, how it's packing, how it's rolling, how it's crumbling. And I feel like that kind of information is a big part of the four-wheel drive trucks and their truck setup and how they drive it, how they're going to launch. So I don't have a pick right now. I got to be honest.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking at some names right here. Jason, who's your pick right now?
I'm going to go with Mangan. Last year's points champ. I don't know why he wouldn't come out and just set it on fire again like he did last year. I think that's I like Rob Foster. I mean, but I saw, I got to go to a lot of the Grand National hooks last year with, with Full Pull. And I'm telling you flat out, there's just the 4-wheel drive trucks are like super farm. I mean, you'll have 12 trucks within 2 or 3 feet of each other. And Phil, that as a competitor in super farm, that's one of the tightest classes out there. So,
yeah, the rules have been in place for the class long enough that everybody's fighting for every inch.
I'm sorry, 1 second, Bert. I got a few questions about the live stream. How much does it cost? It's free Friday night. Then it's $39.95 a month after that, $39.99 a month after that, or you can just pay $25 a session. So you might as well just do the whole thing and watch all of the Grand National polls.
And then it's also archived, right, Jason? Somebody could go back on their lunch break and watch it back. Even if you missed the event streamed live, you could go back and watch it in a week.
Well, I've seen a couple comments, guys, that they're gonna watch. They're gonna be at the poll and they're gonna be listening to us on their earbuds. So
I like it.
I like it.
And then what I noticed when I went to log in to set up my free viewing was it only took an email address and a click.
Yeah.
An email address and a click. That was it, right?
Well, that's the thing. And if you got friends that don't know what a Roku is or don't know what a Fire Stick is, look, you can go buy a Roku and a Fire Stick for about $30-$35, and you get all kinds of other free channels. Why not spend that $35? Go ahead and do your $39.99 a month, and you can watch all the tractor pulling you want to watch all year long. Plus, you get to watch a bunch of other stuff that's on Roku and the Amazon Fire Stick. So, that's one thing about it. You can't go wrong with the price. You plug it right in the back of your TV, hook it up to your internet, and you can get all kinds of channels, but you definitely want to pick this one, Full Pull Live, to get all the tractor pulling action this year.
Yeah, I have mine up on my Roku already. No, Wesley, there is no yearly subscription option. It's $39.99 a month. You can cancel after the season if you want. You can cancel anytime, but you can't go back and watch all the replay in the archives, to Phil's point on that. So we'll be covering all the Grand Nationals. The website also has other featured events, driver chats. It's going to be a very interactive web page. It's going to be a very interactive app. There's a lot more stuff coming. But as we roll into Benson here, tonight's show is all about talking about the live stream and letting all the pullers know what their polling order is. So let's, Jeremy, again, this is perfect. Cheaper than a UFC fight and better entertainment. So well said.
You figure you pay for one UFC fight. How many events are you going to see for your month? 2 to 3 events. $10 a week. And later in the summer, 4.
It's $10 a week. And I know a lot of sports. Yeah.
It's worth it just for Bowling Green. I'm going to be honest. I've been to Bowling Green several times. I could go back and watch that one, 10 times a week after I leave there. Anyway, it doesn't really matter to me, but I'm telling you, it's definitely worth the $39. And you're actually getting actual, full pull professional NTPA truck and tractor pulling. And you don't have to spend all day searching on YouTube for the video you're looking for. But definitely, I tell you my pick right now. I'm going to have to give it to the Virginia boys. I'm going to look at a couple of different ones there. Peyton Davis and Ben Ellis on Benjamin. They know the track really well, and they know this North Carolina dirt. So I'm going to give the upper advantage to either one of those guys.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right, so we did a truck class. Phil, Bert picked the trucks. Phil, who do you want to see next?
So if I remember right, Benson's a 2-track facility.
Yes.
So are we talking about who's on the left, who's on the right? So, but that makes me think, I'm curious what the 2-wheel drives. Wait.
No 2-wheelers. You got minis?
No.
I want you to
the minis.
Like the Pro Stocks or Super Stocks Opens.
I'm thinking, let's save the Super Stocks, only because that's such a fan-based group. Like, they have a large following.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go mini rods, PK.
Yeah, mini rods would do me. Yeah.
Oh, this is a class to my heart right here.
Josh Peake, the general manager of the GALOT Motorsports Park Live. What's
happening, Pete?
What's going on, guys? Sorry for the late show, or the making it late. I've been out here working really hard all day.
Well, we weren't
going to daylight.
We're not going to let you talk much anyway. Don't worry, buddy. So
good.
No, we're announcing the lineup, Josh. We're announcing the lineups, the polling order. We've got a couple hundred people watching right now. This is exciting. I want you to talk about the weather forecast for this weekend, dude. Somebody's living right out there. Somebody
It's
went to
awesome.
church.
I bet about that for sure.
Yeah.
It looks as if it's going to be like the stereotypical line is Chamber of Commerce quality weather.
Yes.
That's a good one.
What is your track prep and your preparations for this weekend's event been like? What have you been into, Josh?
Look.
Oh yeah.
John Strickland and Holt are out there currently getting the track ready for the weekend. So we've been doing a lot, trying to get our bath shower house finished up. So that'll be ready for the weekend. New showers and new bathroom for everybody to be here for this weekend.
So I noticed that you guys leave organics on your track surface throughout the season, and then now you're tilling them in here this past week. Is that how that works? Is that how you guys situate it?
Say that one more time. Holt was going by on a big tractor. I couldn't hear you. Say it one more time for me.
You guys have a track surface that you guys leave natural organics to grow on it during the off season. Are you guys taking the time to till that in this week? Is that the process you're going through?
Yep. They've been out there pretty much on and off throughout the day, trying to get things ready. So they've been bringing in equipment all week long. And I don't really know a whole lot about the process, but I'm just kind of watching and learning as we go.
For someone to come to that event when they normally come to the GALOT Motorsports Park, will they use the same entrance to get to the pulling they would if they came to a drag race?
Yes. Typically for most of our events, everybody will be used to coming in the same gate, which will be the 242 address. The racers will come in that gate as well as spectators. The only time typically we use our other gate on Drag Strip Road for spectators is during events like PDRA or something like that.
Okay.
Good deal.
The grandstands, you got to set up a grandstands, great viewing. And if I remember right, you have elevated grandstands at about 5 to 6 feet off the pulling surface for the front row. So they're seeing over whatever track prep or flags or banners may be. There's great perspectives in all of your grandstands. You've got great points of view, whether you're a starting line kind of seat purchaser or you're a 300-foot seat purchaser. Hell, nowadays a 330-foot seat sitter. You've got great sight
As you can tell. Yeah, we've got some grandstands on both sides over my right shoulder, and then of course this side. So you guys can see the grandstands on both sides of the racetrack. Lots of seating. We hope we fill them up both sides all weekend.
Well, with that weather forecast, Josh, and the excitement of the Grand National season kicking off, I think people are pretty excited. I don't want to take the whole show up with you because we want to announce all the lineups tonight. But what are some of the things that you want to say? What are some of the things that you want to say to the people watching the show tonight, Josh?
I'm really excited about it. As you guys have said, and we've talked about before, this is my first NTPA event ever, first tractor pulling event ever, period. So I'm really excited about it. The closer we've gotten to the event, just keep getting more and more excited about it. Phenomenal forecast. Everybody come out and see the fastest tractors that there are.
Yep. What is the actual address of the venue? Tim Shriver wants to know, Josh.
I can't remember. Yes, I can't remember exact number for the the 242 gate. It's on the flyer though. Whatever the number, I can't remember the number.
What's your website, Josh? So somebody could just quickly look it up. If they're looking us up now online, they could quickly dash a website or a social media page. What are those?
Yeah, it's GALOTmotorsportspark.com.
Yeah, it's 555 Drag Strip Road. Is what it says on the website.
Well, that's the other gate. There should be a Highway 242.
Yeah, 4129 Highway 242S. Bennett just popped in there, so there we go. Good. He should know that facility well.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, Josh, I know you want to get back to work, but if you want to, I just want to make sure that we got to get you on here, the general manager of GALOT Motorsports Park, host of the Mule City 300 this Friday and Saturday, 7 p.m. start time, gates open at 5 p.m. at GALOT. We're going to continue to go through the driver, all the driver lists. Everybody's pretty excited about that. So we're looking forward to see you here in a couple of days, Josh.
Yep, you guys take care. Look forward to seeing you guys too.
All right, take care,
All
Josh.
right, thanks.
See you.
Yep, thanks.
Josh Peake, everybody. He's the general manager there out at GALOT Motorsports Park. Excited to have him on there and checking all that. This is a great question. I want to touch on this before we keep going. How does buying the live stream help the promoters so the pullers keep having a place to pull? So the NTPA gives them full pull, bought the media rights from the NTPA, and then that money, a portion of the money goes back to the promoters. So that I really wanted to let everybody know that out there. So if you can't be at the pull, this is another way to support the promoters, and it's going to help us. We have a centralized media outlet now, and we can put these numbers in front of sponsors. And PK and I will talk a little bit about that on the live stream with from his NASCAR days working for Fox. He can talk about that some more. But I really want to. I think people are kind of excited about these lineups, so we got to quit talking too much. I'm excited to work with you guys. But let's get back to the mini rods here. Bert, do you mind reading those off? This is a pulling order for Friday night of the Grand National mini rod class.
All right, first one up is going to be Kevin Campbell out of Pennsylvania on wild card. Second one up is Adam Bauer. Everybody knows that guy on Iron Toy out of Iowa. He's got a long drive, I'm sure. Holt Strickland, this is the local hometown boy. I saw him run last weekend, and that boy is going to go with just ask, I can tell you. That's going to be another one to watch. Chase Richardson on the vibrator. Ron Tobin, I hope I'm saying that correctly.
You are.
Out of Indiana on Walk the Line. Cody Singletary out of Tar Heel. That's kind of a local guy there, too. He's only about an hour and a half from home on the Carolina Night Train. Brian Guza, I hope I'm saying that correctly, too.
You are.
Grandpa's Disaster. If I mess anybody's name up, just you can throw something at me later. Renee Theobald out of Shelbyville, Indiana on Pretty Wicked. Lindsey Campbell out of Washington, PA on Short Fused. Brian McDonald on Very Little Sanity. Grayson Shelton out of New London on Cutting Up. Adam Kester out of Wadesville, Indiana on Beast of Burden. And then we got Cody Singletary coming back on the Carolina Night Train 2. CJ Grassett, I hope on Pile Driver. Butch Poland, all the way from Canada on the Bull Hauler. Ken Vinny, everybody knows that name, out of Wadsworth, Ohio on Funny Little Formal. Grant Theobald on Shelbyville, Indiana on Little Wicked. Troy Art on Slingshot. Adam Kester on Footloose. And Andy Langford on the Bear Claw.
20 mini rods. That is awesome. That is awesome.
These feel like Bowling Green sign-up numbers.
I know.
Like the quantity of equipment is so. If I may, since I sort of skated out on the last class, I'm a big fan of what Kevin Campbell and Lindsey Campbell coming to the game with a brand new mini rods that they just started testing last year. At the end of last year, did a little bit of testing. I want to see them grow. I'm going to go with, because I feel like they're a dark horse. I think Kevin has a ton of ingenuity up his sleeve with his Chaos Fabrication in his machine shop down there in Washington County, PA, that once they get a handle on it, I think you'll see the refinement. And who doesn't love an underdog because they're new to the game, newer.
Well, Bert and I saw him at the North Carolina State Fair come out and win the first night. He beat
Oh,
Jeff.
yeah. He just hopped in and he had been driving all his life. Yeah. And mini rod, and the thing about mini rods, you're talking wheel speeds over 100 mile an hour, 2,500 to 3,000 horsepower, and they can turn into pure chaos in a heartbeat. They'll look like they're going for a pretty run, and the next thing you know, they're up on one wheel and about to roll over. So it can be anybody's ball game. They're all running similar engine packages. It's all going to be about setup.
Yeah, I like I'm going to take one of the Theobalds. They absolutely rocked the Pullers Championships a couple weeks ago. Grant was your weekend winner. Renee won the class by 20 feet. I think the tire, and PK and Bert, we'll talk more about the mini rod tire, at the event, but that's going to be who can figure out these new tires first. I think that's going to be the main thing. And there's always, we got a Ken Vinny. Mike Wiltrout says Ken Vinny always comes with a hammer down, but this is a great class. I got to watch Brian Guza. He's got a brand new chassis. He made a test pass up with their little FFA pull this past weekend. So I don't know. PK, who do you like in the mini rod class?
Yeah, I want to take Lindsay. I want to take her as an underdog. I think
Right.
The combination in the package, once she starts to feel how that vibration comes up that seat, up her ass, and she gets a hold of laying down the power, I'm going to go with an underdog. And I think she would agree that she's a bit of an underdog. I want to see good things come from her in this event. Because these can set a tone, right? Like, are you chasing all year now, or are you confident enough to do and play with setups moving forward? Like, first events can mean a lot to a lot of people.
It gets your groove started for the rest of the season. If you start off on a good note, you can keep that ball rolling for a while.
Absolutely.
Again, fans, this is the actual point order for Friday night. We did the 4-wheel drive mods, and this will also be up at Full Pull Live, fullpull.us after the show tonight. It'll be on the Full Pull app tomorrow, and we're going to do the weighing in show every Wednesday night. We're going to do a weighing in preview show every Wednesday night at 6:30 Central ahead of every Grand National hook, and it's going to be fun. It's a great chance to get on here. It's going to be 30 minutes tonight. We're really going to go. We're going over a little bit tonight. We're all excited for the pulling season to start and to get chatting. So, guys, we've done 4-wheel drive trucks. We've done mini rods. Do you want to see light mods next? Do you want to see light super stocks? Do you want to see pro stock tractor? Or do you want to see super stock open? Bert, you get a pick next.
Let's go super stock open.
Okay. This is a big class, boys. 14 of them. 14 of them.
That's a great show. There's a value right there. Like when I think of what Josh.
As a diesel super stock guy, I got excited.
Because and that's something you don't see, and that's hard to find too, is where you have a super stock class that has both. It has alcohol super stocks and diesel. Seems like you go to a show and they're all either alcohol or all diesel. And this is going to really put it down right here of who's top dog between the two. But this is going to be a good one.
PK, you're on your phone, so I won't have you read these down. But
right, Cody I am. I didn't get home in time, and I just pulled off into a parking lot.
Cody Chiswick, your rookie of the year last year, driving considered armed and dangerous, will be hook number 1. Jeff Hodem, fully loaded, hook number 2. Scott Whitworth with Field Forge, hook 3. Zane Delhigh will be hook number 4 with Rutten Deer 2. John Belfance, one of the diesels in the class from Salem, Alabama, with the chain breaker. Aaron Hull out of Wisconsin. That's Waupun, Wisconsin, Bert. I just want to make sure you know how to say that, okay?
Waupun. Okay, I'll get it straight.
Brian Diekman, Millbury, Ohio, with the original judge. Diekman driving the super. Andy Dutton out of Anderson, South Carolina, with the junk wagon. Kent Payne, your defending Grand National Diesel Super Stock champion. This is his brand new motor. He didn't make it to the Pullers Championship, but he got put back together in time for the Mule City 300, so he's going to get a pass before his season starts in Hutchinson. Super Rooster, Bob Gansmer, Rutten Deer, Terry Blackburn, Extremely Armed and Dangerous, John Strickland, GALOT number 2, Neil Gettinger, Lessons Learned, and Brett Backhouse out of Waupun, Wisconsin, with the John Deere out of time. That, guys, I don't know the last time we've had 14 open supers in the open super class. Would that be, like PK said, are those some Bowling Green numbers?
I mean, that's the biggest super stock class I believe I've ever seen, besides somewhere like Bowling Green right here.
Let's put this into a little bit of perspective. If you're Josh and you're still trying to sell tickets to GALOT, I literally would make my splash page almost these lineups to show like, holy cow, you're going to see pieces of equipment nonstop.
You will not. And that's the thing. If you live here in North Carolina, if you want to see the top in the country, you need to come to GALOT this weekend. Because, folks, you're not going to see any better show besides maybe Bowling Green. I mean, you look at the number of vehicles. We're going to have 101 this weekend and 14 super stocks in one class. I saw these numbers when y'all sent them over to me last night, and I'm like, wow.
It's neat. It is neat. Again, if you can't be there, you can live stream at fullpull.live. It's free Friday night. And again, if you're watching right now, please share this with your friends, your family, your coworkers that either head into Benson or they can absolutely watch the live stream as well at fullpull.live. That's how social media works. We need you to like, we need you to comment, we need you to share. That's hard to pick a winner out of that bunch, guys. But I don't know. I don't even know where to go, to be completely honest with you. You got to like Considered Armed and Dangerous. You got Terry Blackburn, John Strickland, the hometown guy, knows the track. That's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome, guys. So
I'm. Who wants to go first?
Well, you can go first, PK.
Okay, I'm taking the junk wagon, baby. Andy,
Yeah.
I am.
Hey, that tractor's had some upgrades over the winter. So the last time you saw this tractor, Jason, this one's got a little more oomph underneath the hood.
Okay.
So I wouldn't count that one out definitely. But I'm going to say my pick this weekend. I'm going to have to go with John on this one. He knows the track. He knows what to do to make it hook there.
The pits are open. The gates open at 5. The pull starts at 7. So come on in, get there at 5 o'clock Friday and Saturday, and walk through and check everything out. Jason Wilson says you got to root for Kent and Neal. Being an Indiana guy, I'm both close to me. So, I'm gonna pick Super Rooster just because I'm a diesel guy. And
I knew that.
I know he can hang. I know he can hang with anybody. So come on, Kent and Sandy Payne. So
I think Kent still has that innovation bone in his body where he's always massaging on parts. And I think that's how he keeps finding it. But I also think that's how sometimes he's detonating it. I'm a big fan of Kent Payne.
So sounds good. So all right, guys. Again, we're these are your Friday night lineups. We got Saturday night to go yet. If you're watching, please comment. Please share this around. Let your friends and family know. This is the only time you will see Grand National truck and tractor pulling in North Carolina. I mean, this is the best of the best out there coming up. So I'm gonna go with let's do light mods next, guys. How about that?
This is my class.
I know. So Bert, I want you to read through it. So we have 13. This is the small. Isn't that great? 13 is the smallest class, guys. The lightest numbers are 13. This is good.
Yeah, I've met Mike. And how do you say his last name? You're going to correct me on this.
Shoneman.
Yeah. I mispronounced it last time I announced it. Out of Roanoke, Indiana on Night Train. Brian Diekman on Ohio Express Jr., Doug Theobald on Full Blown Wicked, Randy Davis out of Tappahannock, Virginia on Running Bear, Terry Feist on Feisty Farmer, RJ Simon on Simon Says, Brent Payne on Limitless, Bill Voorhees on American Thunder, Wayne Sullivan on The Kentuckian, Todd Feist on Snow Farmer, Jason McKenzie on Never Satisfied, Austin Berry on International Salvation, and Les Corporal on Corporal Punishment. That's I like mods because I used to drive a mod, but this right here, they're loud, they're obnoxious, and that's why I gotta love them. I mean, if you're standing next to one when it comes by, you feel it pound the ground, no doubt about it. If you've never been to a truck and tractor pull, folks, it is worth watching these right here. So
let's talk about Brent Payne. Did you guys notice that right in the middle?
Yeah,
there?
I saw that. Yeah,
kind of a famous super stock driver driving a light mod. We got to talk about that a little bit. GMS is actually I think the sponsor this year for the NTPA. I saw that on a poster. But how cool is that to see Brent Payne driving a light modified? That guy can wheel it. You know that, PK. So, with PK, we lost you, buddy. He's like, dang it, what's going on? Bert, yeah, I'm gonna go with Simon or Corporal just because of the Simon, everything they have. Les, I talked to Les a little bit over the off season, and I know he's pretty jacked to get this season started. And old modern machine there, he isn't gonna be messing around. So
no, well, but I wouldn't count anybody like Bill Voorhees.
No.
On American Thunder. Yeah, I mean, you can't, or the Terry or Todd Feist, they've been pulling forever and a day. They know how to read tracks and know how to run them. I mean, this is another class. It's whoever figures out the track the quickest. And it also depends on where they're at in the show. That'll make a big difference, especially with the mods.
Yeah, I haven't seen the actual class order yet. This is the pulling order, but I haven't seen the class order yet. I'm assuming that will be determined on Friday. So.
Well, I kind of figured they might run the mods a little bit later in the show because mods seem to tear up the track pretty good too. They like to leave a good little track, ruts in the track. So we'll see how they run out. That's definitely worth sticking around and watching though.
PK, do you got a favorite out of that bunch?
I do. So as Todd and Terry, I'm going for that team, right? When I look across of who has an advantage here slightly, it's setup on the second vehicle of the Feistes. I think I'm going with Todd. I think he has an advantage Terry comes back around. I know they use a lot of technology to communicate to each other. Not a lot, but they use radios to communicate back and forth. They're a dual vehicle team in this class. And just from my understanding, I think Todd got a few more newer parts than Terry did this year.
And the good thing about both of those tractors, they're built a lot alike. They're practically the same chassis wise. So that's something they can easily learn off each other real quick. You know, if one tractor responds one way, hey, how do we fix it real quick? And like you said, they can tag team and make that adjustment.
Yeah.
Again, fans, as soon as the show's done tonight, head over to fullpull.live, get your free ticket for Friday night. Bill said earlier, you put in your email address and you hit a button, boom, and you're going and you're watching this live Friday night, and then it's $39.99 a month after that. So we got light supers, so we got pro stocks next. We got to save the pro stocks for last because you know, that's just what they do. They're kind of a big deal. So light supers Friday night, we have, let's see, 15 of them, guys. Look at that list of awesome competitors. So Larry Phillips, Vine Grove, Kentucky, Extremely Insane will be hook number 1. Ryan Stramick with red. Zach Linville with the Ridge Runner. Rex Kuhn with Letter Buck. Martin Daniel with On the Edge. Terry Blackburn with Considered Armed and Danger. Adam Spiegelberg with Detonator Black. I'm going to mute Phil there while I'm reading these. There's a little bit of kickback. Colton Whitworth, Yield Express. Craig Smith, Whiskey's Fine. I love the name of that tractor. I think he won the Enderley, if I remember last year. Brandon Phillips with the John Deere, 7310R. Martin Daniel over the Edge. Brent Payne with GALOT. Josh Blackburn driving A&D Excessive Force. Marcus Weddleson, Gunpowder and Lead. And Colton Whitworth with the Bin Buster. So 15 light supers, guys. That's a big class of light supers, PK and Bert.
This is one class I haven't seen a lot of. So, you know, I've watched a few of the classes from Bowling Green and some of the other big shows last year, but definitely I want to see what that new Brent Payne GALOT tractor can do. And obviously you can't count out Terry Blackburn on Considered Armed and Dangerous in that class. I mean, that's two that I'm looking at for the win or going in the top 3, definitely that tomorrow night, or Friday night.
PK, pick two names out of that you think can win this class.
Oh my gosh. So I keep looking back to the Stramix and that red tractor. So I want to see it do well. So I'm going to pick him. I want to see that tractor perform. I know they've got a lot of bullets in that, in that revolver there. The next one I want to see do well is Adam Spielberg. Was running super competitively for a while, and now the edge isn't there. So I want to see that tractor as well perform this weekend.
Yeah, Tony says Cody is driving A&D Excessive. Yeah, Tony, this is what I was sent, so this is what I'm going with. I'm just being honest. I can't make any more speculation after all that, so we'll see what's happening there. But yeah, light supers. Great 101 hooks each night, fans. Both classes will be pulling each night. Hopefully you can come for both nights. If you can't be there, head over to fullpull.live and get that free live stream Friday night. Head over there now and get signed up so you're good to go. And we got Saturday night to go yet, but here we go with let's talk about those pro stocks. Let's see who has hook number 1 on Friday night to start out the Grand National season. Brandon
Simon. That might be the finishing order. I don't know, or at least the top one.
Colin Ross driving Bootlegger. Bootlegger did not. They had problems at the farm show. They had problems at Mac Trailer. But I saw them. They made a pass at their hometown track there at Chaos Fab. I think we all saw that on Facebook. I think it had 19 billion views. But Colin driving Bootlegger, that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. So Julia Ray, Mac Daddy, hook 3. Tim Kane, the Red Gambler, number 4. Shelton's brand new pro stocks cutting down, number 5. Rhett Parrish, number 6. Chance McGrath, Last Chance 2, number 7. Brad Moss driving Rob Russell's tractor Workhorse. Rob's probably home planting. Brett Meyer, your defending Grand National champion. Injected Funds. That tractor won the Pullers Championship with Brandon Simon driving. Esden Lemke with New Generation Plus. Jack Mays, Billet Binder. Mike Connie, Mac Nasty. Brandon Simon driving Loud and Heavy X. Our other Shelton, Grayson driving Cutting Edge Pro. Braden Schrammick on Youngblood. And Peter Norton, money on back. 16 pro stocks, baby. PK, Bert, this is the good stuff.
I can't believe we get to watch this. Like, this is a great lineup. It's a great show. When you think about the region down in the Carolinas, the culmination of all of these vehicles in one event is an added value ticket. It easily is.
Oh, yeah.
I think this live stream as well, the quantity and the quality you're going to see for this show, you know, and we're starting off big. So I don't know how we're going to sell the next week's show, to be honest, like, because this is a great show, great lineup, a great sign up. Brandon Simon, first hook.
Yeah, I mean, that's legit coming out of the gate. Well, for $39.99 a month, you get all of it. You don't have to sell the next show. You just get to show up and it's ready to rock and roll. So I'm excited for that. So before we jump into Saturday, fans, let us know in the comments what piqued your interest right away. Brent Payne driving a light mod, guys. What's like Bert PK? You have your announcer hat on. What are your storylines? First hook of the year, Grand National season, right? Got all the defending champs back. I see Colin Ross driving the most talked about pro stock, you know, the bootlegger with that cool air cooler at the farm show. I see Brent Payne driving the light mod. You know, what are some other storylines? And fans, what are you seeing? What are you most looking forward to this Friday night in Benson? Throw it into the comments. I'll throw your comment up on the screen. Jason Wilson says, I'm taking Tim Payne with the Red Gambler. So
I like that choice. I like Tim as a fan favorite, yeah. I'd like to see him pull one out, and I'm gonna go with Tim, and then Timmy will say, well, why'd you call me the underdog? And I'm gonna say Tim's the underdog, so I'm gonna pick Tim out of that group.
No, that's a good bunch. Roger Thomas likes Shelton's new pro stock.
That's I think that those two pro stocks, you know, they've made a couple of passes, but you know, anything that Shelton's put out, they're going to work it up. They're going to figure it out. They're going to learn how to drive them, and you better watch out for them too, because those guys, I wouldn't say they don't like to lose, but they like to win. They really do, and they work hard at it. So I mean, you look at the mini rods that they had and the limited modifieds they used to run. They work hard at this sport, and they love to win it, no doubt about it. So I would say watch for those guys in pro stocks. And watch for these underdogs. You know, you see it, especially like in the Pro Mod 4 class, you see some of those Virginia four-wheel drives that come down. Don't count those guys out, because I can tell you some of those trucks are pretty tough here in the state. They run in Bowling Green. They run at some of the bigger national events, and you're kind of on their home turf. So you might have to watch out for those hometown guys a little bit.
I like it.
And so we're talking about 2 nights, right?
We haven't done Saturday yet, PK.
We're doing Saturday. Yeah, right. We haven't even touched on Saturday's lineups yet, it was a unique animal on itself, right? Because when you talk about storylines, we can go every which way but loose on the beginning of the season. It's about parts and changes, what you've done to your vehicle showing up, how you got there, what you've done in your off season, and then it just goes into a whole nother of how are you going to drive it? So there's so many things to choose from when you talk about storylines of how you got here, or of how you're signed in and where you're signed in. We can go any direction with that. So I'm excited to see how the Full Pull and the Full Pull social media will interact with our live stream, that we can answer to some things and talk about things that are on top of mind to those people who are viewing. I'm excited about that, to be able to literally touch base with. When we watch these shows back, recorded shows back, 4 months later on TV, you have questions and you're like, well, I wonder what happened there. The great part is we'll be able to answer that and speak to those as the event's unfolding. So I'm excited about that. The whole live stream experience should raise the bar of truck and tractor pulling across the board.
Well, this is the first stage in the storybook of 2024 in the Grand National circuit. So you got to think about it. If you spend a lot of money all winter long, are you going to come out a little easy on Friday night and then turn it up for Saturday night? That's the thing I'm looking at, because there's nothing like spending a bunch of money and making a bunch of changes, and you're sitting there on a track and you're like, do I want to ease into it, or just hold the steering wheel, drop the hammer, let her eat? Which one are you going to do on Friday night? So your winner Friday night, you may have a totally different change from Saturday night, because somebody might have been a little conservative on Friday night and said, well, it worked okay Friday, let's turn her on up, let's go.
My understanding is that entry closes that Monday, the week of the Grand National event. That's my understanding. but I'm not. That's what I think I've been told. I don't know what you guys have heard. But we'll dig into that a little bit more, Bert or Phil. So the lineups are set as far as I know.
That is true. NTPA sent out an email that had your signups and signups closed as of it must, on technicality, midnight Monday night.
Right. And I think they kept if you needed to register, like if you were not a NTPA Grand National person, they allowed you until yesterday at lunchtime or something like that. They allowed you a little bit more time to get registered in, because I think there were a lot of people that were kind of confused on how that whole process was going. This is a new process, and everybody's used to doing it the old school way. So when you change that process, it's the same way with us. You change your process. Some people may not understand it, or it's just something different. Hey, you're looking at it from a different perspective. So, I think you're going to see this speed up everything. You think about it, when you get there on Friday, you don't have to go register. You don't have to do anything. You can focus strictly on what do I have to do to prepare for the night show. Get out there, unload it, get it prepped up, sign some autographs, and let's go pull.
And to back that up just a little bit with the new process, this also helps promoters. And when we talk about going back to promoters, the promoters have to be soluble at the end of an event. So when they know what equipment's coming in, just like Josh is there, he knows he's got to prep. Well, at this point, we know 100 plus hooks. He's got to prep that many pit stalls. He's got to make that much parking accommodations. He needs to make sure that many bathrooms are open. He can plan his event better because margins are important. So whenever the sign up occurs easy or earlier, it gives the promoter a benefit. And if we don't have places to pull, we're just pulling for pullers.
Exactly.
So I want to dive into Saturday night now, guys. I'm just going to go with how I got them uploaded here. And again, I just snipped the sheets out earlier, Dave. Let's go light mods on Saturday. We got Brian Diekman, hook number 1 with Ohio Express Jr. RJ Simon, hook number 2 with Simon Says. Terry Feist, Feisty Farmer, hook number 3. Doug Theobald, Full Blown Wicked, hook 4. Brett Payne, Limitless. Bill Voorhees, American Thunder. Wayne Sullivan, the Kentuckian. Randy Davis with the Runnin' Bear. Todd Feist with the Snow Farmer. Austin Berry with International Salvation. Mike Schoeneman, with the Night Train. Jason McKenzie with Never Satisfied. And Les Corporal with Corporal Punishment. So Corporal has the last hook both nights, guys. So
well, that's the benefit right there, because you get to watch everybody else run. So if you see something that's going on during the class, you can look at it like, yep, I need to start on the left-hand side and shoot for the right, or whatever that situation kind of brings out. So that's definitely, I would consider that a benefit.
And again, fans, if you're just joining us, a lot of people are coming on. This is the weigh-in preview show. We're going to do this every Wednesday at 6:30 Central Standard Time ahead of every Grand National event, and we're going to announce the lineups, okay, for all the sessions. And this will also be available on fullpull.live later tonight, fullpull.us. It'll be on the Full Pull app tomorrow. So a lot of fun with that. Let's go to four-wheel drive trucks Saturday night. Read those off, Bert.
Bill Kramer on the Contender. John Davis on Young Gun. Larry Peterson on ProFab Geared Up. Paul Holman on Foreplay. Ron Johnson on Mistress. Danny Johnson on Desperado. Ike Zering on Bucket List. Kevin Schools on Farmer's Daughter. Bucky Davis on Seldom Seen. Tommy Corza on, that's not the name of that truck, but Ford. Scott Phillips on Yankee Blue. Peyton Davis on The Punisher. Mark Mangum on The Outlaw. Mike Broughton on Mick Broughton on Shockstrip. It's kind of small on my screen.
Yep.
Rob Foster on Foster's Child. Jake Kramer on Supernatural. Ben Ellis Jr. on Benjamin. Jimmy Moritz on Unleashed. Jake Zering on Rule Number 19. Jordan Eddy on Just Rutten. Anna Morgan on Bounty Hunter. Taylor Corza on Taylor Made, and DJ Sullivan on Simon Says.
I think DJ had first hook on Friday night and
his last hook on
he's first hook on Friday night and then last hook on Saturday night. So
well, that gives him 2 opportunities to run on Friday, and he gets to watch everybody on Saturday.
Yep.
Whenever I used to pull farm stock, I get first hook. Everybody like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to double my value. I'm dropping the hook no matter what. I'm going again. They're like, why? I'm like, I just like the tractor pull. I'm going again.
My $40 is going to go twice today. Yeah.
My $40 just cost me $20 per hook.
Yeah.
This is the biggest class of the weekend. 23 four-wheel drives each night, 20 mini rods each night, 16 pros, 14 open supers, 13 light mods, and 15 light supers. So let's move to light supers next. Again, this is your Saturday night pulling order. All this will be posted on fullpull.live after the show tonight, as well as on the Full Pull app tomorrow. But right out of the gate, the legend, Terry Blackburn, first hook, considered armed and dangerous. Larry Phillips, number 2 with extremely insane. Martin Daniel on the edge, number 3. Rex Kuhn, letter Buck, hook number 4. Colton Whitworth, the Bin Buster, hook 5. Marcus Weddleson, number 6. Gunpowder and Lead. Brian Schrammick with red is number 7. Zach Linfeld, Ridge Runner, is number 8. Martin Daniel, over the edge, is 9. Brandon Phillips and the John Deere is 10. Craig Smith, Whiskey Spine, is 11. Josh Blackburn, A&D Excessive Force. Colton Whitworth, Yield Express. Brent Payne, Galot. And Adam Spiegelberg with the Detonator Black. That's your Saturday night lineup for light super stocks. And then let's move to Saturday night super stock open. Jeff Hodem, fully loaded. I'll read these for you, Bert, because I know they're smaller on your screen.
Yeah.
Terry Blackburn, extremely armed and dangerous. John Belfance, Chainbreaker, again, one of our smokers. Scott Whitworth with Field Forged. Kent Payne, Super Rooster. Brett Backhouse, Out of Time. Cody Chiswick, considered armed and dangerous. Neil Gettinger, Lessons Learned. Zane Delhi, Rutten Deer 2. Andy Dutton, the Junk Wagon. Is he the one closest to home? I think.
Yep.
John, well, and Strickland. So
Strickland, yeah.
Galot 2. They only have one heavy super now, fans. I think somebody had commented on that earlier. Brian Deacon, original judge. Bob Gansmer. I'm used to seeing Bob. Rutten Deer, lives about 45 miles south of me. And then Aaron Holt, Waupun, Wisconsin, taking care of business in our super stock open. So again, there's let's see here, 14 of those. If you cannot be in Benson, you can watch the live stream for free Friday night, or it's $39.99 a month after that. Everybody gets it free Friday night, no matter what. Just head over to fullpull.live, type in your email, and register. Let's do Pro Stocks. We'll do mini rods last. Pro Stocks Saturday night. Chance McGrath will be your first hook with last chance 2. Brandon Simon, he has 2 early hooks. Didn't he have first hook on Friday night, guys, with Loud and Heavy?
Yep. Yeah.
Pretty sure. I'll go double check here. Friday Pro Stock. Yeah, Loud and Heavy's first hook on Friday, second hook on Saturday.
So he's really hoping the class before him sets the track in.
Yeah. And then his teammate, Brent Meyer, last year's champ, injected funds. That tractor swept the Pullers Championship a couple weeks ago. Wow. Brandon and Brent will be talking. Julia Ray, number 4, Mac Daddy, can never count her out. Braden Stramick, Youngblood, Grayson Shelton, Tim Kane, Peter Norton, Brad Moss driving Robbie Russell's tractor. Brandon Simon would back with Loud and Heavy Hex. Jack Mays of the Billet Binder. Grayson Shelton cutting down. Colin Ross on the Bootlegger. Ezen Lemke, New Generation Plus. Mike Connie, Mac Nasty, and Rhett Parrish on El Nino. That is a powerhouse lineup of Pro Stock tractors, guys. So Saturday night. And then we're going to go to mini rods Saturday night. And again, we have 20 mini rods. So 23 four-wheel drives. The next biggest class is mini rods. Kester is going to come out of the gate with first hook with Footloose. Adam Bauer, Iron Toy, number 2. Chase Richardson, the Vibrators, hook 3. Grayson Shelton cutting up as 4. Annie Langford is 5 with the Bear Claw. Then Grant Theobald with Little Wicked. Cody Singletary. It's fun to see Cody pull that. He loves, we've talked to him at Lumberton at the State Fair, Bert. This is his Grand National pull in his home state. Lindsey Campbell, Short Fused. Holt Strickland, Just Ask. Now, is Holt's tractor, is that one of Shelton's, or did that come from, where'd that come from? Holt's tractor.
I believe that one came from
Boyd's?
No.
Somebody will know in the comments.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, somebody is sticking out. I can't remember. Somebody told me the other day, we were talking about it. You know how that is, have a brain fart.
But I got to see it pull down in, I think, Ocala and Satsuma, and it ran good. So, and you said you guys see it last weekend? Shelton Splinter. Yeah, Brent Yarn said that Shelton Splinter tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dana. Hey, Dana Strickland's checking in tonight. I love it.
She wants to know if we picked them.
Brian Guzna, Grandpa's Disaster. Ron Tobin, Walk the Line. Butch Pullen, the Bull Hauler. Renee Theobald, Pretty Wicked. CJ Grazik with the Pile Driver. Adam Kester, Beast of Burden. Ken Venny, Funny Little Farmal. Cody Singletary back with Carolina Night Train 1. Kevin Campbell, the Wild Card. Brian McDonald, Very Little Sanity. And Troy Arndt with the Slingshot. That's going to be – that mini rod class, guys, is going to tear it up.
Yeah.
How do you put that much power to the ground with that little weight? I mean, it's
you don't. That's why it's fun to watch.
That's exactly right. The thing about mini rods is you don't have a clue how it's going to respond. Now, back in the day, and I've been in mini rod pulling too, and that's one thing about it. Back in the day, everybody had all kinds of different chassis. So, some people had TRB, some had homemade wedge chassis. You had all kinds of different setups. So it was anybody's ball game. It really was. Whoever could get the magic hook. But now these guys are what I call point and shoot. Basically, once they get those tires rolling, they drop the hammer. It's 100-mile-an-hour wheel speed and hang on tight because you have no clue what's going to happen when they get about 280 to 300 feet.
It is good. It is good stuff. Again, so this is our first edition of the weigh-in preview show. Every Wednesday night before every Grand National Hook, we're going to jump on here at 6:30 Central Standard Time, and we're going to unveil the lineups for the upcoming Grand National Hook. And then immediately after our show, they'll also be up at fullpull.live or fullpull.us, as well as the Full Pull app. Tomorrow is what I got texted to me, that it'll be up on the Full Pull app tomorrow. So we're excited to get the season rolling. Mule City 300, GALOT, Motorsports Park, Benson, North Carolina. We had Josh Peake, the general manager, on a little bit ago. He was they're out there prepping the track right now. Holt and John were working on stuff as we were going. So if anybody has any questions about the live stream or anything, please throw it into the comments. Again, it's free on Friday night. If you cannot be in Benson, we all want you to be in Benson. Like Josh said, let's fill those stands both nights.
Look, if you don't know it, and this is for, and I'm not picking on the older generation, but if you don't know what a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick is, go to your Walmart or your Best Buy. Go buy one. Like I said, you can get them as cheap as $30. Go buy it. Download the Full Pull Live app. I mean, $60. You got all, and you'll have all kinds of other free entertainment too. It's worth the investment. Just plug it in, hook it up to your internet. You create a username, and you're good to go. I mean, so you can't go wrong if you've not ever used a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick. It is very easy.
So again, Bert, myself, and Phil. Phil and I, Friday night, are going to be in the trailer. Bert's going to be our trackside announcer. Every Full Pull live stream is going to have 2 announcers in the trailer, 1 trackside announcer. Phil and I are going to bring pullers in throughout the broadcast as well. If you paid attention to the Mac Trailer Winter Nationals, we're trying to bring you that. Can I say it? That NFL experience, PK. We're trying to bring that to truck and tractor pulling.
Yeah, you want to bring the quarterback into the analyst side of it. Like, bring your quarterback, get out of the seat, drop your helmet, give it to your buddy, or park outside of the trailer. Come in and sit down. I want you to, as I look at sort of our drivers and I started having those conversations that'll be there, is tell us what you normally wouldn't tell us. Like, we want to know. Like, this is a bit of a destination audience, which we want to garner more fans and more views to understand why, how, all of it, and impassion people to follow a driver because of a reason, because of a story or a background. We want to make it right. And we want to show an audience what truck and tractor pulling is about and make you be interested. Give it more eyes.
Well, one thing about it, and pulling has always kind of struggled with this, and that's one thing Full Pull Live I think is going to bring to the table, is every puller has a personality. They have a story. And some of them are similar, but there are some stories where people have started out with literally nothing and worked over the years and have built what I call their pulling empire, what they've created in their legacy in truck and tractor pulling. Some of them work an everyday job, and some of them pull full time for a living. There's just always a story or something behind the scenes you may not know, and you may learn.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait for the season to start. We've been talking about this for a while, getting everything set up. Mac Trailer Winter Nationals was kind of our coming out party, to kind of test some stuff out a little bit. Excited to have the 3 announcers. I think that's going to be great. And like you said, PK, to bring the quarterback in the booth. And the greatest motorsport on the earth streams here at fullpull.live. It's free. We're giving you guys a free live look-in for the entire show on Friday. PK, even you said it was easy to sign in. That made me happy, buddy. That made me happy.
And I got to apologize. Every time people are watching this, they're now calling or texting, and somehow it mutes my mic so I can't keep going. And I'm literally sending their phone calls to voicemail, but it mutes my mic because everybody's like, oh my gosh, that sounds so awesome. And they're trying to call me. And then they send a text like, why aren't you answering them? Well, I'm using my phone tonight because I didn't get back in touch. So I apologize for that. But yeah, it's as easy as literally type an email address and hit link. It sends you a notification to your email. You log in just like you did for this live stream for me tonight, Jason. I appreciate it. Brett, it was very nice talking to you, Bert. I'm sorry. It was nice chatting.
I've been called worse. Don't worry about it.
I'm stoked. I'm excited. I started packing my bag a week ago. I was so thrilled.
Now, this is going to take polling to the next level. What Full Poll is going to bring to the table in the future. I've heard about it. I'm excited for all of it to happen. This is step one to put on this premier live stream, this TV quality live stream for the fans that can't be there, and then have numbers to put in front of sponsors. PK, you and I are going to talk about that a little bit. That's the importance of having the media under one roof, if you will. So we're going all to one spot for this to go out and get it and really help these promoters. And then obviously Full Poll's got more things in mind for the future. But let's kick this party off this Friday night with a free live stream, courtesy of fullpoll.live. Just head on over there. You can also check it out on the Full Poll app. And then every Wednesday night, the weigh-in preview show. That's going to be fun. We'll get the announcers. Dan Mayer and Miles were not able to come on tonight. They had some conflicts, but
they're probably building their stat book.
They're probably building their stat book. We gave them the lineups too. This was fun tonight. We had over, I think we're up to 200 people watching at one point live. So that's pretty cool to check that out. Don't forget about the No Practice podcast. Those three mini rod pullers get together every other Wednesday night at 7:00 Central. And you never know what's going to happen on that podcast.
No, you don't.
But it's a lot of fun, and we're excited to be part of all of this. So, again, Bert, PK, and I will be on fullpoll.live this coming Friday and Saturday from Benson, North Carolina. PK, take it away. Wrap it up for us. Put a bow on it.
I don't have a wrap up, but what I do want to promise people, and it comes a thing of we won't talk over things that we know as pullers. We want to hear as pullers. So if we're, Bert's down a starting line and he's talking to a driver and there's a microphone listening and he's talking with a crew guy, we're going to let you listen at home. We're going to shut up. And the same when the tractor goes down the track. What's better than hearing it spool up? If you can't be there, you got to hear it spool up online. We're going to do our best, put our best foot forward as pullers and professionals to put on a good show for you. And, you'll love the experience. I think you'll really like the experience. They've built out a graphics package for you that's not obtrusive, doesn't cover the information. We'll work with our camera guys and those guys that are going to cover it, that when they zoom in, well, it's not covering up the ripple in the tire. We all want to see what it's doing, biting traction or not. So we have that plan for you at home. We hope you'll enjoy it. If you can't purchase a ticket, purchase the live stream.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if you can make it there, there's nothing like watching the tractor pull in person.
I hope North Carolina really rallies around this because, Hutchinson, Minnesota, the only Grand National pull in Minnesota. This is, how close is Chapel Hill to this? I'm trying to think what big time pulls are out east, guys, like Grand National.
That's it. Chapel Hill is probably your closest Grand National pull. Otherwise, you're going to have to travel 8-12 hours to go see a big Grand National pull. So if you've got the opportunity to see it in person, if you're 2 or 3 hours away, folks, there are great hotels in the Benson area. You can get you a hotel, stay for both nights. There's some great restaurants in town. Come in early, check out the pull. I promise you, folks, with 101 vehicles, you're not going to be disappointed in this show. I'm excited about it just for the mods and the minis and the rolling coals. So I'm stoked about this weekend being close to home and getting to see all this action.
15 light supers, 13 light modifieds, 23 four-wheel drive trucks, 20 mini rods, 16 pro stocks, 14 open supers with 2 diesels, wink, wink, 101 total hooks Friday night. And I hope they all live to make it to Saturday night in Benson, North Carolina. Join us this Friday and Saturday in Benson, North Carolina at GALOT Motorsports Park. If you can't be there, free live stream on fullpoll.live as we launch the NTPA Grand National season. Bert, PK, I'm flying out in the morning. I'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please tell your friends. Please tell your family. Please tell your coworkers that this is the greatest motorsport on earth. Have a good night, everybody.
Are you ready for the greatest motorsport on Earth? Introducing Full Pull Live, your front row seat to all the action. With exclusive trackside commentary, line driver interviews, and heart-pounding footage of all the raw horsepower action. An all-new stream like no other. Available anywhere and everywhere you are. We are so confident we're giving you a taste of the action for free. This May 31st, watch the first session of the GALOT Mule City 300 in Benson, North Carolina without paying a penny. Then, sign up for the $39.99 a month and buckle in for one heck of a season. Full Pull Live, the greatest motorsport on Earth, streams here.